Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome back for another video. It's again a Saturday. That means we have another dungeon walkthrough. We have another dungeon guide, which is actually going to be the last dungeon that I'm going to do 100 runs of. Because after this one, I have pretty much finished all of the dungeons from Classic, TBC, and Lich King 100 times each. So this is actually going to be the last one, the last guide I'm going to be doing for quite a while. I might do some of them again at some point, but not for a long while because I'm tired of these dungeons now. But nonetheless, we have one more left, and I'm obviously going to do it as I always do. I will show you the location, I will run it for you, and I'll show you all the loot that I've received from my 100 runs. So, first things first, let's locate this dungeon. It is a Wrath of the Lich King dungeon called ahn'Kahet, the Old Kingdom. So, it's in Northrend, it's in Dragonblight, and it's down here. ahn'Kahet, if that's how you pronounce it. The Old Kingdom, down here with the Stars Rest Alliance flight path. I don't know where the Horde is. But ahn'Kahet, the Old Kingdom, that is what we're going to do. And I got the entrance right here. You will have to go down these holes up here. I'm just going to show you real quick. There's two holes in the ground right here where you can fly down through. And then there's a summon stone. And you just run down this big hole here. In the cave. And then you jump into the instance and you're gonna run it. And of course, I'm gonna show you how I do it. It's pretty straightforward. There's not much. Well, you can't run like a lot of different ways. So it's pretty straightforward. And also, for this dungeon, you can exit it down here behind the last boss. So you don't actually need to be any specific class to do this run. However, as always, I will of course recommend a druid. Because druids are really fast, they have a lot of mobility abilities, like the sprints. And also, for most parts, if you want to do farming like I'm doing here, you will pretty much have to be a druid or a monk, but monks is not that fast. So you have to be a druid because of Dream Walk. Because all the other dungeons, you will have to, well, some of the other dungeons at least, you will have to use your Dream Walk to exit the dungeon and to enter it again. However, for this particular one, you do not need a specific class. And also, you don't really need a speed set. It's not that long of a dungeon. You can, however, take an extra path, or you can make an extra turn to make a few more kills, which will take a bit longer. And I'm not sure if you can do it without a speed set for that. But for just the route that I'm doing, you will not need a speed set. However, as always, with Wrath of the Lich King dungeons, and this is of course no exception, there is a lot of these items in these dungeons and this expansion, which is what I call fake value. You will of course see it at the end when I show you the loot, but there is a lot of items that has the same model, just slightly recolors, and is just totally overpriced compared to how much you can actually get from that item. Yeah, it's just how it is. I will show you at the end, but there is a lot of item that is just like way overpriced. I already now can spoil. I have items in my bag that is apparently worth 800,000 gold, and I got 4 of them, which is ridiculously. Like if you ever get an item that is worth 800,000, I've received one which is super rare. It's so rare. I've never seen it before. It already sold as well. But it's just so rare. You will not get 4 items worth 5 or 800,000 gold in 100 runs. Just same with this one, 209,000. This is probably another item that is fake value. That is quite well shown here. 210,000 gold for a helmet. I know it is. It's just not gonna happen. Well, I actually almost forgot the extra road. Let's just kill this one first. Usually I go back down there and I kill the last packs over there. However, you can go down here as well into this area down here. However, I did not do it. You can kill these mobs here. There's like 8 or 7, say even 10 mobs, maybe not even 10 mobs down there, which you can kill for a bit of extra loot. There will also be some materials with crystallized life, and then you can turn them into eternal life, so you can get some materials as well, but it's not very much. So I decided not to do it, because it does actually take a minute or a minute and a half to go down there, probably a minute. So I didn't do it. I'm just gonna point that out. But you can do it if you want to. There's some extra mobs and extra loot, and you can get the materials as well. However, these are the last few mobs, and then I'm gonna shoot the loot, and I'm gonna be talking a lot about fake valued items. So this is the last boss. It took me about 3.5 minutes. You could of course go down there and it would take you about 4, 5, maybe, well, close to 5 if you don't have a speed set. So no speed set needed, no specific class. I do of course always, as I said, remember recommend a druid because of this particular ability here, because then you can go out, you can reset the dungeon, and you can go back to the dungeon, or you will spawn right outside the cave at the graveyard, and then you can just rinse and repeat. So it's pretty easy. Not much to it, pretty fast. Yeah, no big deal to run a dungeon, no big deal to find it as well. You can of course take the portal to the dollar run, and then you can fly down here. But now to the most exciting things, or what you've probably all been wondering about, the loot, because we have it right here. Oh, I think I've actually already vended that helmet were apparently very expensive. However, these are the items that I've left with. As you can see, pretty good selection of items. That is a pretty decent shield. However, some of these items, as I already mentioned, is a lot like fake value. First off, damage necklace. You can get these in all of the Wrath of the Lich King dungeon. I have gotten 4 in my run so far, and the highest I've sold for 3.1. They sell pretty fast. Why not keep them and just sell them off? Then we got a few armor pieces here. The Bloodmore set is pretty decent. We got a Hell Grind set here, which I also have sold. This particular one, I don't know why it's not showing for this one, but it's showing for this one. I actually did sell this belt for almost 5.5k, so I'm of course gonna try and sell them again. Then we got the chest piece here, which we actually got the helmet from this particular set for 210,000 gold. The chest piece here is shown to be 10k. It's probably not gonna sell, but I mean 10k is not absurd. It's not like insane amount of gold, so I think it can sell for 10k. I'm not sure if it will, but I think it can. Then we have a pair of shoulders here, and again, nothing too interesting about them, but these also have, as many of the other items as well, have a few recolors. There's a few exactly the same model, but it's just a few recolors, and apparently these are going for 36,000 gold. Probably not gonna sell for it, but we'll see. Then I got a dagger here, very boring dagger, which is almost 9,000 gold. I got a lot of these already on the auction house, so I'm probably just going to vendor this one because I do not want to have them laying around in my guild bank, not selling at all. I'm already having them on the auction house. They have not sold yet, so I don't expect more will sell. Same with this one here. I do already have a few, and I have 2 posted already. 23,000 gold for these. This great staff. Not so great if you ask me, because again, a lot of recolors on this one. Before I go down to these one down here, which is the most hilarious ones, I will actually go to these. This shield here, 20,000. I actually got it through while doing the run now here. Pretty decent. Shields tend to sell, so I tend to keep them as well. We got another shield here, which I got 3 of, 10k gold on my server, so decent. We got a axe here, which is 25k. Again, a lot of recolors of this particular model, so I'm not sure if it will sell, but 25k. Then we have a noisy blaster, a gun, which is 28. And now I'm actually just going to jump down here because I got the exact same model right here, but this one here is 662,000 gold. I have no idea why this is posted so much higher than this particular one. It's exactly the same model, and this is also what I mean with fake value, because why would you buy this gun for almost 662,000 gold when you can buy this exact model for 28,000? I mean, this is not going to sell, let's be honest. It's never going to sell for this price. Someone just posted it for this price, and now on my server, the price of some of these items have been marked to being this expensive. So when you loot them during your run, you're like, oh, I got a big item, but you haven't actually, because they're not gonna sell for that price. My price is messed up. So yeah, Not gonna sell. It's not when you can get the same model for like a 20th of the price. Unfortunately, we got a staff here, which is 50. Again, probably not gonna sell. That goes for most of these items. I got the blues down here is pretty decent, and I got one green item that is pretty decent. The rest of them is probably not gonna sell for the prices here. But 50,000 for this polem. I actually thought it was a staff, but it's a polem. We got 80,000 for a sword here. Again, recolors of this particular model. We got a crossbow here, which is 114,000, which is not gonna sell either. And then we got a staff here. Again, a lot of recolors of this one. 173,000 gold. This item here is the only thing that's a good item. 350. I don't know if it's gonna sell for 350, but this bow here is actually a pretty rare drop from some of these dungeons, and I got one more from one of the other dungeons I did. But the Astral light bow, which is a pretty decent item, you can just kind of see it as well. For the recent sales average is 85,000 gold on this item, where on this one is not even 2k. On this one is 650 gold. This one is 2k. So this is a pretty decent item. I'm pretty happy with I got this one, but I don't think it's gonna sell for 350,000 gold either. But I'm happy with this. This is a good item. And then I got a staff here, which, well, I got 4 of them, which is 14,000. I got a recolor of the same model for 21,000, and I got this one here, which says it is 745,000. But once you click it, is the exact same model for this one. This one here is called Melting Ice Staff. This one here is called Promised Staff. But once you click on it, you can see the transmark here, Promised Staff. And once you look at this one, it's also called the Promised Staff. So exactly the same item, exactly the same appearance, exactly the same color. But apparently this one, same with the gun actually, but just to show you, a lot of these items are not worth what they say in this particular dungeon. Not on my server, at least. So, yeah, just horrible, just horrible. I hate farming Wrath of the Lich King dungeons, or I've come to hate farming these dungeons because of these items. Like, even these, you think, oh, 13, 14,000 for a staff, that's good, but they're never selling because there's just 4 or 5 recolors of these particular models. So, they're just horrible to farm, man. There's only a couple of these, the Wrath of the Lich King dungeons, that are actually worth farming or interesting to farm. But it is what it is. As I said, we got the materials as well. You can get crystallized life if you go to the left and kill those, yeah, the big crawling dudes. And then you can turn them into eternal life. It's not amazing. I think this is from 10 runs, so you get 2 per 10 runs, so that's only 100 gold, so it's not really worth it, but you can do if you want to. And then to the blues, which are pretty decent. This sword here is pretty horrible as it's only 1.1, but we've got a mace, an axe here, which is almost 10k, and then we got a polem here, which is just dropped down to 5k. It was actually 15,000 before I recorded, or before I started recording, but dropped down to 5k. But these are decent. It's just blue rare items. Don't drop that often, so you can keep those, and you can keep this one, and then you can keep the shields and the damage necklace, and that's pretty much it. Rest of the items says they're worth a ton and a fortune, but most of them are probably not. So that was the loot, and once I click this, it will show me how much value I have in my bags, and it will be absolutely ridiculous because it will be almost 5 million gold. However, if we just sell these 5 items, or actually I could sell a few more, but just these 5 items and press it again, it is 1.5 million gold. So you can see 5 items is almost 3.5 million gold. Not gonna happen, right? It's just ridiculous. But that is the story with most of these Wrath of the Lich King dungeon that I have been farming. Unfortunately, you can't really get a good estimated value of these dungeons because of these fake valued items, but nonetheless, I have finished all of them now, so I will not be doing any more Wrath of the Lich King dungeon. happy days. Anyways, that was it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like. Yeah, comment in the comment. Leave a comment in down below if you have done any of these dungeons and if these items are as fake value as mine. And other than that, leave subscribe so you don't miss out on the next ones. And yeah, that was it. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.